Hey there guys, it's me Samantha from SS Twins, and have you ever heard of Piccrew? If you're anywhere in the OC original character sphere, you probably have. It's this website that, if you've ever heard of like dress-up makers, doll makers, things like that, where somebody else has drawn a bunch of assets for you, and you can combine them to make original characters or designs, or your own designs, or yourself. Piccrew is mostly a Japanese website, but a lot of people from other countries also make their stuff. It's like a ton of artists. It's really cool. But I saw someone on YouTube, I'll try and credit the original if I can find it, do a drawing random Piccrews, which I thought would be fun. I've used Piccrew to make OCs in the past, but you could just click the random button and get these crazy random characters with like everything stacked on them. So I thought it'd be fun to do some random characters with a cat theme, so they will all be cats. I found a couple of makers that I really liked. Also, did you guys like... Since when did Piccrew have so many ads? My goodness, I had to watch an ad before I did anything, and all these rainbows on the screen are blocking crazy ads. Anyway, this one was my favorite maker, to be honest. I will put the links to the makers in the description. This one was by CringyKit44. It's so funny because half of the time you generated the cats, they would just be invisible cats because an option was for the body to be invisible. So anyway, here's the first one that I decided to draw. I like this one because it had some pride flags on it. Really cute. I'm always into drawing some different pride flags. But I will now share to you my secret. My secret is that, of course, in the spirit of the challenge, I drew these cats authentically as possible to their reference images. But then for every cat that I drew, and I did 3, I redesigned it to be what I found a more aesthetically appealing design. Because I think maybe, you know, the random characters, that's just what the random wanted. But in terms of what I want, maybe I could use some of my own design skills, of which I have complained about feeling like I don't have great design skills for characters, but get a boost from the random character. Anyway, I thought this one was so cute. I thought the base of the cat was just so silly. I was just like, I spent a long time trying to figure out how to pose my cat, so that way it would look as cute as the original, and it didn't. I didn't want to just copy their pose, right? I didn't want to copy exactly what they did, because then it wouldn't really be drawing it in my style. But I had a hard time. I don't know. I think the problem was that I didn't use references. Maybe there's a lesson to be learned here. There's a lesson about always using references. Is that the flag on the cat's head in the randomized cat is the abrosexual flag, which means that you experience your orientation as changing over time, your sexual orientation, your attraction, which is very interesting. If you didn't know, I have a small business with my sister, SS Twins Designs, and we sell custom pride flag buttons and pronoun pins that are completely customizable. So I've drawn a lot of interesting flags and learned a lot about different identities, but never the abrosexual flag, even though I think it's really pretty. Kind of reminds me of watermelon. But I have to confess that I do eventually change the cat away from being abrosexual when I make my customized version, which you will see. I had a lot of fun working on these Piccrews. I think it's just inspiring for me to use some sort of like design or base from someone else and then build off of that to create my own idea. For some reason, like all of my characters that I'd consider to be like original characters, like they have stories, things like that, pretty much all of them were designed by other people. I have one character that I designed on a Piccrew that I've kept, and his name is Pink Kitty. But the only characters that I really like designed that I would consider to be like some form of characters are my like merchandise characters, which I've told you kind of are in a category all their own because they're characters that I draw a lot for merchandise. So I designed them because I drew them for merchandise, and then I just couldn't stop putting them on merchandise, like the circus rat or the alien cat, things like that. So right now I'm working on the truly authentic version where I use all of the colors that were in the original, and I draw the flag that was in the original and the bandana that was in the original with the color picked from the exact reference. But I do go through and then I change it. I don't know, that's like, I could have just drawn exactly what the randomizer said, but I don't know. I was like, what if I could transform it into something uniquely all my own? I do really like how this cat looks though. I think this was one of my favorite designs from all of the randomized characters I made because it's just so cute. It's like not overly complicated. Like a lot of the random ones are like stack every accessory in the entire world onto this cat right now. But I thought this one was like simple enough to be really classic. Okay, now I start editing it. And here I am changing it to be an aro ace cat. Aro ace means that you're not romantically or sexually attracted to anyone. For some reason, the blue tail and the orange paws were giving ace to me, so I did change this cat. I do love the homosexual flag, though. It's giving watermelon. I will have to make some designs with those color schemes in the future. I'm sorry to this cat for erasing your identity, but now it has been transformed. I changed some things, like I changed the color of the tongue and everything. And pretty much the only thing I kept was keeping the cat white. And then, I don't know, I kind of went crazy. This is like, I was in the midpoint of changing it, and then I decided I want to add dots to the legs. So then I had all these little speckles all over, and then I had them on the face. I don't know. I was just in a mood when I was doing this. Let it be speckle. And then I go crazy and I put one on the eye. I don't know. I just was in a speckly mood, and you'll see that again on the next cat. Ends up having speckles. But I do think this design is really, really cute. I thought this was just a very solid maker. Like, nothing overly complicated, but I had a lot of customization. Your cat can be gay. And here I am adding fur to the cat, and then I go back and I fix up the original one a little bit just to make it look a little nicer, have some of that fur on it. I don't know, so you can see me just changing up a bunch of things. But then we're going to move on. I will show it to you in all of its versions at the end of the video. This next one's really cute. I think the maker of this one was Spanish. Their name was, here, let me look, Piccrew. And I did make a lot of different cats. So in this video, I only end up using 2 different randomized Piccrews for it. But I ended up generating a ton of cats that I just didn't put in this video. So maybe if you guys like this, I'll do it again. Now, for some reason, despite this not being in the original Piccrew, I was obsessed with the fact that the cat needed to have paws. And it needed to be putting its paw up. This was a failure. I was like, maybe we'll give a peace sign. I don't know. And then also I realized I haven't done line art in a long time. And I forgot how to do line art paws. I don't know. I was all over the place with this one. So I think it turned out a little less authentic. Like, I think mine looks like nerdier and their original looks cuter. But I guess, you know, that's the point of drawing it in my style, is to reimagine it. To be honest, this cat, out of all the cats I generated, is the most simple, clean looking design. Like, the cat is brown. Okay, it's just a brown cat, and it has cute glasses. And I think that having a nice simple design like that can be really effective. Okay, here I am doing the curly whisker. I was like, I think that despite the fact that their original was like more angular, I needed to make mine more like curly and more, I don't know, circular in shape, I guess is the best way to describe it. Because for some reason, I was still determined to make that paw work, and I was like, angular paw is just not working for me. I was all over the place. Okay, then I decided to take a break and just start adding some colors to this. And at this point, I did not realize, but if you look very closely at the original reference, you can see that the cat actually does have some little splotches on its eye, but it's hard to see because they're covered by the glasses. So I do go through and I add those, and then let's just say I went a little crazy with the splotches. Now, for me personally, I think the original version of this design was really effective, but I do go through and add some little details to make it my own. Here I am still trying to make that paw work. Oh my gosh, so embarrassing. Just give up now. I don't know. And then I'm trying to add the paw pad. That was the hardest part for me, was trying to figure out, how do I draw a paw pad? I have no difficulty just like, if you just said, just draw a paw, I could just draw a paw. But for some reason, I thought that this looked bad. Now I'm looking at it now, it doesn't look that bad, but I just thought the black outline looked kind of stark. Curious to hear your guys' opinions in the comments, but look at how many times I redrew that paw. Is this like the 5th one? Just give up. It's not even part of the drawing. I don't know. I was like possessed. And there I am trying to draw the paw pads again, and then I was like, maybe it needs to look more like it has a wrist. And then I was like, I should look back at the original and just focus on the background. So I still haven't discovered that it has splotches, but don't worry, I'll get there soon. Guys, this is a really long video. This is one of my longest videos I've made in a long time, but I thought there was a lot of content to get through. Okay, here I am adding my own twist to the cat of adding a little fur to it. And that does come back, okay? I took it away for now, but it will come back. Little curly fur, I don't know. I love drawing curly little cats. I love drawing curly whiskers and curly fur. It just is really cute. Even though the original cat, it probably is not curly. I don't know what was going on there. Why did the cat become transparent? There, I finally discovered that it has splotches on its face. But then I go crazy and I add way too many splotches. And then I think I even add more. I was like, you can barely see that splotch because it's behind the glasses. We need more. I wanted to give it some, like, impression of having, like, a chest fur, but then also just fur in general. It's a furry cat. I do love the brown. It's just very nice. Very appealing. And on the purple background. I think this cat, like, I have some real ideas about this cat. I think, like, it's like a librarian. Reads books. One of those, like, actually kind of cats. But friendly. Look at that big smile, right? You wouldn't insult it. I just watched Ralph Breaks the Internet. So, you know, guys, have you ever seen that? There's this thing that's like a search engine and it works at the knowledge bar. And it tells you facts. I think this cat could be like that thing. It is very cute. Okay, for some reason, at this point in my life, cell shading does not work for me anymore, and I have to go through and I have to blend it all out. So here I am blending out all the shading. I don't know why. There's nothing wrong with classic cell shading. It's a classic for a reason, but for some reason I have to make everything overly complicated now. I have to blend it all out. But just, it looks so nice when it's blended. What can I say? Very cute, very simple. I'll show you designs at the end. Then I did this one, okay? This is back to that first maker. I was obsessed with it. The Cringy Kit. And you know how I told you that the cats kept disappearing? Their bodies kept disappearing because it was an option to disappear the bodies. I thought it'd be cute if it was a ghost cat. For some reason, I lost all ideas about how to draw a ghost. So that's like the hardest part. Now I have to be completely honest with you guys. I don't know what pride flag this is. And maybe it'll come to me while I'm doing this voiceover, because it looks like the asexual flag, but it is upside down. Maybe it'll come back to me. Anyway, it can be an asexual cat. What the heck? Why not? Just a little cat. Just a little ghost cat. It is really cute. I love all these little stickers on it too. I don't totally know what all of them are supposed to be. I kind of moved the direction of the blue one so it could look like a teardrop. And I'm pretty sure the purple one's supposed to be a band-aid on the nose and there's a yellow star on the ear. And I don't know what that little X thing is, the green X, but I thought it was cool. And then eventually when I make my own version, I do change it. Okay, so I was looking at it. At first, I thought this little pink thing on the face was a nose, but actually it was a tongue. So I thought I should draw the tongue sticking out. And this is my idea of like trying to draw the authentic eyes, but it just does not look as cute in my version as it does in theirs. And I think the problem is kind of with the shapes. I spent a lot of time trying to work on it. I don't know, it's just like theirs is like more angular and the face is cuter on theirs. I tried to add these white highlights. Girl, get rid of those. It's creepy. I don't know, I was all over the place with this one. I do think that when I end up redesigning it that I actually did a pretty good job with this one, like made it better. Now I try and redraw the ghost because I was like, something about this is not giving ghost. I looked it up and apparently most ghosts actually do have like hands. I didn't realize this. I thought should it be like a cat-shaped ghost? As if the cat was a ghost? I don't know. I was all over the place. I ended up making it more of like a standing up cat. And I think this is like more ghost-like. The one thing is that the ears are white, and the ghost is also white, so that was a little complicated. I do end up changing that when I make my own version. I never know, like, well, I say I never know. It's not like I draw a lot of ghosts, but I don't know how to draw, like, the fabric of the ghost. See, okay, this pride flag still has not come back to me, but it's not the asexual one. It's upside down, and I'm looking it up, and I can't find it right now, so maybe I don't know. Now here I go. I'm starting to change it and make it my own. If you guys have any insight into that flag, let me know in the comments. Okay, so I decided to make it look like this is a cat in a ghost costume. So the first one, that one is like really a ghost, I think. This is a cat in a ghost costume, okay? I redesigned it. And I gave it little legs. So I don't know why it's standing like that. I do change the proportions. There's a lot to unpack here, okay? Let's just say it's because I was basing it on a randomly generated cat. See, now I add in a orange smiley face, and then I also eventually add in a pink heart. I do end up like stretching it out. Like I make it like longer. And I think it helped. Oh, it looks horrifying right now. It's scary looking. Okay, I do fix it though. I don't know. I had a lot of fun working on these, but I think in the future I need to work on my poses more. But I did only do just cats and not humans because I just wanted to draw cats and not humans, and I was like, man, there's a lot of great cat generators here on Piccrew. I think Piccrew added a lot more ads. This is my suspicion, by the way. I think they added a lot more ads because they are now selling ad-free premium. So I think they were like, quick, make everyone hate these ads so that way we can sell them ad-free premium. But I swear they did not have these many ads when I used it last, and that was only like a few years ago. So, okay, I was trying to make it look like nervous, like, oh, why am I in this ghost costume? But I ended up just not giving it any mouth at all on this version, which I think is pretty cute. You know, can't really go wrong. Also, these eyes are the same eyes as my character Pink Kitty, which was not made on this generator. It was made on a different Piccrew many years ago. But I just think they look more nervous, like crying, even though it doesn't look as good on the white of the ghost. I don't know. I had a lot of fun trying to reimagine it, and here I am doing that blended shading. And then I took away the pride flag. I'm sorry. I removed this cat's pride. Now it's just a ghost with stickers on it. But it can still be whatever you want it to be. Whatever it actually is that I don't know what the flag is. Okay, and then I was like, what if the arms poked out from the sheets or whatever? Like maybe you threw the sheet over the cat. Happy Halloween. But the cat is friendly. That's why it has stickers on it. I don't know. I kind of like this design though. I might end up selling all of my redone versions of the Piccrews, like I've been selling all those adoptables. Okay, now I will show you all of them. So here's the original of the first one. This one has 3 stages because then it has the in between, and then it has my final stage. Guys, if you want to buy any of these characters, let me know for a very cheap price. I did have a lot of fun though making them, and let me know. I generated a lot of even wilder looking cats, so I could definitely make a part 2 if you enjoyed this. Thanks for sticking around for a 17-minute long video. Super long and unusual. Finally, here's a ghost cat. I hope you enjoy. Leave a comment letting me know what you thought, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye, guys.